Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Keith with Positively Osceola, another one of our In the Loop live shows. And today, special guest, the chairman of the Osceola County Board of County Commissioners, and also the commissioner from District 3. That would be Chairman Brandon Arrington. How you doing, sir?
Good, Keith. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Great. Enjoying the waning weeks of summer here.
I think we're all pretty much ready for it to be over with. It's I keep having that conversation with everybody. I think this might be the hottest summer on record, but I think we say that every summer as well too. So
yeah, I was walking and I think I was in Best Buy the other day with my son, and some guy behind me said, "Oh my gosh, this has got to be by far the hottest summer ever." Like, it may be, because
it may be, but
it's pretty smoking hot. But I think we said that last year.
I think we say it every year. At least it feels that way. But
it's hot, though. It's hot. It's hot. So we are going to kind of get at this, and I, again, really appreciate that you would take the time to speak to us today. You're super busy always, but when I looked at some of the things that are some of the things happening in Osceola County, you have been a busy leader for sure, more than even normal. So let's kind of, if you don't mind, let's kind of jump kind of quick into this and give you a chance to share what's going on. Is that okay?
Perfect. Sounds great.
Here we go. And the small version of us there that is, and we'll plop right out of that. So again, Keith with Positively Osceola here in the loop, and with Chairman Brandon Arrington. And as I started out the show saying, extraordinarily busy time. I actually got kind of a chuckle as I was trying to organize things at how many things you've been involved with the last I would say 2 weeks, not even just a month.
Yeah, it's definitely moving. A lot of excitement, a lot of great things happening here in Osceola County that I've been happy to be a part of. That's for sure.
I'm sure. Let me. I'm going to zip to one that really was just something that we became aware of today. Here, if I can grab it real quick and give you a picture of what I'm talking about, and we'll go right from there. Why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about what this is? And that
sure. This is
Liberty High School.
For those of you who don't know, this is the exterior of Liberty High School. And we've been in discussions, or I should say I've been, and my staff, as well as the school district, have been in discussions with the principal for probably over a year now, trying to figure out what we might be able to partner with Liberty High School to really try and provide some value to the students and to the school there. As many of you may know, Liberty sometimes gets a bad rap with some of the instances that have happened over the years. And one of the things that they don't specifically have is a defined training line program for kids at their school. A lot of different schools throughout Osceola County have specific programs that are great assets to our students, and Liberty was lacking in those. So after a lot of discussion and some work, Osceola County has donated over $2 million to create an advanced manufacturing training line here at Liberty High School. So these students will have an opportunity to begin to learn a wonderful tech trade skill that they'll be able to implement and get to work on jobs right after high school, or continue further training to be able to advance their careers a little bit further. So we are super excited to have made this contribution. Obviously, a lot of times local governments don't participate in education the way our commission does, but I was fortunate enough to have the support of my whole commission in moving this education opportunity for District 3 forward. So we're very, very excited. I know the principal at Liberty High School as well is very excited, and I believe the school district is working hard to implement this so this program can start here in the fall and beginning to transform some of the lives of those students at Liberty High School.
It kind of goes without saying, this is a huge county in a lot of ways. Certainly one of those ways being the school district itself. And my wife and I talk sometimes. I think in both the counties that we grew up with, there was one school, pretty much one school, maybe two on the outskirts. That's simply not the thing that we see here. And so you brought up, Liberty High School. Yeah, we tend to go to a lot of the school district meetings, the board meetings, and off and on, you'll see a leader will step up, maybe whether it be a teacher, whether it be a principal or an AP from Liberty, and I don't know that I've heard or seen a teacher or an admin from another school more proud, more excited about their school than the Liberty High School folks, and I mean that sincerely. And I walked out of some of those meetings and said, "Man, that guy's on fire for Liberty." And that's a big deal.
It is. It's we're really excited. Obviously, Liberty is one of those schools that has a very transient population with a lot of kids coming and going, and also has a huge influx of non-English speakers as well. It is a super, super diverse school. If you ever get a chance to check it out. When I say that, I mean there are kids from all over the world at Liberty High School. And so we are very excited to make this contribution to move it forward, because as you said, Keith, the folks that work out there and the students, they love their school, and we want to make sure they've got opportunities just like students at other schools throughout Osceola County.
Absolutely. So we're going to keep the rapid fire coverage here going, because otherwise this will be a 3-hour session to cover all the stuff you're doing. So I'm going to fast forward. Hey, there's your dog. I'm going to fast forward to Neo City, which of course will at some point in the future have dogs walking through some of those paths. Let me pop this little segue there for you.
Perfect, please.
Bam. So that was something that came up in this past Monday's a board meeting at 5:30. If you want to share some of the exciting news that came out pertaining to Neo City and the city center area.
Sure, I'd love to. Obviously, we're all looking at a graphic of what the proposed Neo City City Center will begin to look like. With construction started and slated for 2024, this is a design element that the group that we've partnered with, or I should say who's bought acreage from Osceola County, to begin to build that mixed-use city center, which will have shops, commercial opportunities, as well as residential spaces as well. And one of the great things about it is this is all located around the pond at Neo City, which is a 100-acre water reclamation pond that is the largest clean water process in the state of Florida currently active. And so we're very excited by that. But what you can tell that this is doing is trying to make Neo City not just an opportunity for innovation and future jobs, but really a place for all of us in Osceola County. When we began this process talking to the developers that we're working with, we reiterated how there really aren't a lot of gathering places in our community besides our lakefronts. Kissimmee, St. Cloud have done a great job revitalizing their lakefronts and really making those a gathering spot for our community. But other than that, we really don't have a lot of opportunities. So we're really trying to make sure that we've created design that's functional, that also lends itself to high tech, but also creates a communal vibe. And you can tell from this photo here, this is what we intend to do between shopping, restaurants, residences, really trying to make Neo City the future hub of Osceola County, if you will. So the folks who came in and spoke to us, the development firm, as I was telling someone the other day, really hit on all the highlights that the commission is trying to accomplish with this. With the basic understanding, though, that Neo City is there to create jobs in Osceola County. And that's a challenge, because a lot of folks, when we've talked to in the past, are real excited about building residences, but we want to make sure there's plenty of commercial and industrial opportunities to grow our economy and have that real work-live space that we've talked about. If I don't know if you've got other pictures, Keith, but if you were to go further down the promenade, closer to the end of the pond, there's also the Performing Arts Center sketch mock-up they've done as well. And that's important, because in Osceola County, we have one performing arts facility, and it was built back in 1967. And so we really haven't had a chance to grow and expand from that. And so we're looking to do that here. And one of the other slides that showcased here is an outdoor amphitheater that we're looking to have built at Neo City as well. Not only for whether it's 4th of July or concerts or other events throughout the year, we want to make this a facility and a space that's usable and welcome to all Osceola County residents. This whole first phase of this development that we're working with is about $1 billion worth of investment into our community. And this development firm has the opportunity, if they bring back proven results of creating jobs in that area, an opportunity to take down other acreage to expand the opportunity of commercial and somewhat small residential elements throughout Neo City as well. And it's great. And we've also, as some of folks may have heard, we're really starting to see the value of Neo City and in our investment in it. And I say that specifically, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, Schoolfield Properties has a piece that's right at the front that intersects with Den John, right there at 192. They just sold that property for $1 million an acre. So that's probably some of the biggest raw land purchase cost-wise in Osceola County history. And so we've seen what this investment in trying to build high-tech, high-wage jobs is already doing, not only for our community, but also for our land values as well. So we're really excited to see that movement begin. And we're continuing to wait to hear from the federal government on the CHIPS Act, which we have an application in for. We've moved through the process. And if Congress and Senate are able to move it forward and get it to the president's desk, we should see a recouping from that opportunity somewhere between $50 to $70 million in grant funds to expand some of the work we're already doing at Neo City as well. And I know I talked about liberty in the beginning, but it's important because what we're doing is building those the training and those jobs all here in our community. And that starts at our high school levels, whether that's with Neo City High or advanced manufacturing training at Liberty. These are kids that'll be able to train in high school and go to work at Neo City, making good money and having a career and not just a job, if you will.
Yeah, you know, a lot of folks come into this area. Let's just say the last year, we've seen, you know, a huge influx of folks that have moved to the state, certainly the county and Central Florida. And maybe I probably wouldn't ask just anyone this, but I know you're well versed on it. And you know, for those people, maybe that 30-second overview of what Neo City. It's got. I'll say this: it's got to make you feel like you had the correct vision when we're all seeing the importance of sensors, importance of chip technology more than ever right now. We've experienced a disruption in the world. And so now we're saying, hey, these are important issues. It's got to make you feel as a leader like you were looking in the right direction. Does that make you feel that way?
That's a great way to say it. We did a lot of homework before we landed on what we're trying to do in Neo City. We started by doing a cluster study, seeing what opportunities businesses and other agencies are around our area and what that would lend us to. And then after doing a lot of research, we landed and understood that obviously sensor technology was going to be a huge need in the coming future. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I had seen a posting and it said over the next 10 years, there'll be like 1.6 million jobs created around the development and advent of sensor technology. And so, yes, it does feel great to know that also the nation is understanding the importance of sensors and chips in everything we do, whether it's fighter jets, weapons, fire trucks, your phone, a microwave. Everything has a sensor in it now. And they're even moving that way for health applications as well, for diabetes and for lots of different opportunities. And so, yes, we do feel excited. We feel that we really have laid a good ground plan to move Osceola County forward. And I always try and remind people that when we developed Neo City, we never had envisioned that in 5 years we would be done. Right. We literally laid this out as a 30-year plan on how to grow and evolve in Osceola County. Because, Keith, you've been around long enough. You know our economy gets strained every time there's a recession. Sure. And a lot of that has to do with our service industry community and also our construction base, which besides ag, those have been our 3 major industry drivers in Osceola County for as far as I can remember. Right. And so we realized that we have to create another opportunity and another income opportunity for Osceola County residents, because we're tired of every time a recession happens, Osceola County being the highest unemployment in the state of Florida, and if not rivaling every state in the nation. So we really think building that third leg of the stool, if you will, from tourism, agriculture to high-tech development is really the way to go for us in our community.
Well, we hope we hope to see you continue to do what you're doing. That's a big deal. I think the Bible says, "Don't grow weary in well doing." I think it's a big deal for the next, for the next 30, 40, 50 years in this state. So I'm glad you're on that. And yeah, it just seems to me that you guys were paying attention to the right channel for sure.
Yeah, I would like to tell you we got a little lucky, but at the same time, we really tried to do our homework to understand what those opportunities were, especially when making an investment like we made. Don Fisher and I joke on a regular basis about all the other things we almost built on this property,
Right.
and none of them would have provided us with the return and growth opportunities on what we settled on.
Agreed. Yeah, glad Don's part of that leadership team for sure. All right, so we're gonna zing to yet a completely different scenario, a little more on the public safety, and that's gonna be a recent pushback ceremony. I'm gonna give you a break, maybe you can swig some water because you're talking, but you're talking recorded. Here we are. Here we go.
Perfect. Hi, it's Chairman Arrington, and I'm here at Station 65 down in Point Siena, which is a joint use station between Osceola County and Polk County. And today we had a wonderful ceremony, a pushback ceremony of our brand new engine that's right behind me here for Station 65. It's a great day to be in public safety, as Osceola County has made a commitment to making sure our firefighters, our law enforcement, also our emergency management have the tools necessary to provide the services here in Osceola County. We just pushed this back into the bay after we did a hose-off ceremony where we hosed it off and wiped it all down with our fellow firefighters here as well. So looking forward to continue this engine providing great service to Osceola and Polk County as well. So it's a great day in Osceola County anytime we can improve public safety, and that's what we did here today. Thank you so much. And I will also say, if you or someone you know is interested in being a participant in public safety, I would encourage you to not only look at our sheriff's office, but also our firefighters, and specifically our emergency call center operators. Osceola County, Kissimmee, and St. Cloud both, all three of us I should say, are in need of 911 call operators. So if you or someone you are looking for a new career, please check out the public safety opportunities here in Osceola County. I'm Chairman Arrington. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Yeah, it's always a great day when we can improve infrastructure and first responder, especially for our first responders here in Osceola County. So it's and what's always amazing though is, I'll be honest with you, Keith, is the cost of those apparatuses or those engines. So when we see them coming through, you definitely notice them on the agenda as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And I know the guys over at the fire rescue do a great job, certainly every single day. And
they do.
They do. We get to, I know the Chief Collier is doing a great job, and we get to once in a while hang out with Andrew Sullivan over there. So it's always a good day for us.
Yeah, that's always good. He does some amazing drone footage, I can tell you that.
Yeah, he's talented. If he's listening.
And one thing, I don't know if it said it in that, but one of the things that's exciting is we had laid out a vision in Osceola County probably about 12 years ago on working to improve all of our fire stations. A lot of people don't realize that Osceola County went from a volunteer fire department to a professional fire department overnight, which is great. Unfortunately, the county obviously at that time didn't do a capital outlay to make sure those stations and facilities were up to date. So we're building a lot of new stations. We've got another one planned next year to start construction as well. I think we've got another 30 firefighters coming online in next year's budget as well. So with all of our growth, we know we've got to keep expanding opportunities for our public safety folks to be able to respond efficiently.
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a great job. I think I was talking to Andrew last week, and I think the two most recent additions, I think that's going to bring you to 17 stations in the county, which is a big deal.
Yeah,
big deal. Big deal.
It is, and it's all at the end of the day, especially with fire and EMS, it's all about response times. And the closer we can have fire stations and get a better response time, hopefully the lower your homeowner's insurance rates will be as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand.
And that's always a good thing.
Yes, that's always, especially with insurance rates being what they are.
Yes.
Florida today. So,
well, we'll segue from there. So if insurance rates have you down, who can you talk to? Of course, your favorite furry friends.
That's right. That's it's in summertime. It's always, our animal shelters always seem to peak out. One, because either people are moving and unfortunately abandoning their animals at the shelter, and two, because it's kitten season. and there's always plenty of kittens this time of year as well. So I always enjoy getting out there. All my animals we adopt. We don't shop.
Right.
Either that or they just wind up on our doorstep, one of the two. So I always encourage everyone to do the same. So I think you got a great video of one of the dogs I met with, right?
Yes, I do. Here we go. Here it is.
Hi, it's Chairman Arrington, and I'm here in front of Animal Services. We're going to go inside and check out some of the many adoptable animals they have here on site. So if you or someone else you know is looking for an animal, I encourage you not to shop, but instead come on out to Animal Services and pick up a dog or cat for you and your kids. Come on inside, let's see what we got. I'm here today with Blackberry, a wonderful young, about 1-year-old male that's already been neutered, so that means he's ready to be adopted by you or someone you know. Great dog, came in as a stray, seems in great health, a little bit of skittish, but I'm sure with a little bit of time and tenderness, he'll be a great dog for you as well. So if you're looking for a good summer dog or cat for you and your family, please come on out to Animal Services. Lots of wonderful animals for you to check out. Right, Blackberry? They should come out and check you out, maybe get you a nice home.
It's always good.
Yeah, it's always good. It's a good little dog, a little skittish, that little pup was, but there's all kinds of animals, and some people might do better with a skittish dog. If you've got a slower speed in your house, that's always not a bad way to go. So lots of great animals. I think they even had 2 horses when I was there.
Really?
As well. So yeah, they take in a little bit of everything. And it especially happens when we have hoarding cases where our animal services will go in and have to rescue multiple animals. And sometimes that even happens with chickens, pigs, and cows and horses as well. So they do a great job over there at Animal Services. And once again, if someone or anyone you know is looking for an animal, please go check out Animal Services. It's extremely cheap. Your dog gets microchipped. And they're great animals. Like I said before, all of our animals have been rescued or adopted as well. And I encourage everyone to go that route. Help save a life, if you will, because we put down in this country millions and millions of household animals on an annual basis. And so I would tell you to do your part and try and get you an animal. Keith, I don't know if you got any dogs, but you could probably use one.
I've had a couple. I got 3.
There you go. We're just down to 1 right now, but Kristen keeps looking at puppies and other dogs too, so we'll see.
Yeah, unfortunately, you fall in love with them, and they don't have the same lifespan typically, but they're worth every moment,
Yeah, they're great members of our family, at least in the Arrington household.
That's great. All right, so I'm gonna move on quick. I'd chat more about the dogs, but got to keep moving. So something that we honestly really super enjoy being able to watch. That you do quite often are the food distribution events. And I always brag on you saying there's just nobody quite as organized as you and your team is out there. So I've got a little short clip on that as well about an upcoming one this weekend. Here we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Inflation and food costs is hitting a lot of us, and we know we have a lot of seniors and a lot of working class population where food might be one of the last things that gets picked up and put into the cupboard. So we want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to be fed and be healthy here in Osceola County, and that's why we continue to do these operations until we're all back on our feet and everyone's got food in their pantry.
There you have it.
All right. Well, yeah, we've got another one coming up this Saturday. Once again, at St. Rosalima Church, which has been our amazing partner to make all of these efforts happen. They do a weekly food pantry as well, but their site, their volunteers, and then with the help of New Dimensions High School, also State Representative Arrington helps us get volunteers for the event. And we even have Kissimmee West, I believe it's Kissimmee West Rotary has participated. So a great group of volunteers. Second Harvest Food Pantry always comes through and helps us out. And I was just meeting with St. Rosalima earlier today, and I bragged on them a little bit about how, like you said, Keith, how functional and smooth operating those distributions are for other families. So we appreciate everyone that lends us a hand in making that happen. because even though most people are back working, there's still a lot of people struggling with food insecurity here in our community. So we're just making sure we can do our part, that nobody goes hungry, no matter what your age is here in Osceola County.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what sticks out to me, I think I guess I've said it a number of times. When there was a time when the only challenge seemed to be the hurricanes, and they would come and go, and they would be severe, and folks were certainly hurt by them, and lots of damage, accompanying the trauma of a hurricane. But it was somewhat temporal.
Yeah.
You guys would do a great job getting services to people, getting care to people, and then we'd move on with, and it sounds crazy, move on with life a bit.
Yeah.
But this has been something that you guys have done consistently, and I really think that the food distribution events have really touched people and where they really needed it. Some of those core things people have needed.
Yeah, and I think we all know this nowadays, that unfortunately, a lot of folks will pay a lot of other bills before they buy food.
Yeah.
And that's, and specifically our seniors. If you're talking between medication and food, they might wind up on medication as opposed to food. And I always tell all of our volunteers before we start, let's have a good time. Let's be empathetic. We don't know who is coming through this line and how bad they may be struggling.
Right.
No matter what their car is, I tell them they might see their friends, they might see their teachers, their coworkers, their neighbors. You just have no idea what the financial situation of an individual is, and how bad they may be in need, actually. So it's like I said before, our volunteers are great. We have a great time, and it is amazing some of the folks that come through and how thankful they really are for what little they've been given, if you will.
Right.
So, but we're glad to do it. We're very fortunate that the Biden administration obviously had sent down a lot of ARPA dollars that we've been able to utilize throughout the last 2 years, which has been helpful more than anything. Just making sure, because obviously food costs have gone up for us, and that means food costs have gone up for food pantries as well.
Sure.
So it makes it challenging for them as well. So, but I appreciate you saying that, and my fellow commissioners have gotten right on board doing a lot of these same opportunities. I know Commissioner Janer and Commissioner Grebe have done them pretty regularly as well, and either just did some or are about to do some as well. So we're glad to pitch in and help out where we can. I had started helping out at St. Rosa Lima with some other county staff in April of 2020, right when COVID started, because their volunteers weren't able to come out and volunteer because they were seniors. And so we were able to step up as a county staff and as myself and help out. And then we've kind of grown that opportunity from there.
Well, a lot of smiles, a lot of grateful faces on those days when we get there. So it's a good thing. So pretty much covered lots of the events that have taken place over the last few weeks. Some very large things. Anything else you want to share with us before we call it?
No, we're going to be doing down in District 3. We do a backpack drop off, and we do it a little bit differently. We used to have an event where we'd have families come through and we give out backpacks, and then we really put some thought to it. And what I decided to do was actually to give the backpacks to schools instead, and allow the teachers in the schools to make sure we find the kids of most need and make sure they've got supplies when they start on the first day of school. It's something a little bit different. You don't necessarily get to FaceTime and get to interact with everybody. But at the end of the day, I would like to believe that the schools would have a lot better understanding of who really needs supplies, equipment, and a backpack, as opposed to somebody maybe just coming out and picking up a new backpack for the school year. So, so that's what we've done, and we're going to be doing that to 5 different schools. I know Darren Soto has also expressed an opportunity for some books to be added to that, so we're going to be reaching out to him as well to do that and begin to move that forward as well. And then the last thing I'll end on, Keith, is Osceola County, just like every other government about this time of year, has started its budget process. We had our first initial budget meeting on Monday. The county commission is going to be holding the line on our millage rates, which is a good thing for most of our citizens, especially if you are a homeowner and are under our SAVE program and are able to get some of those exemptions, if you will, from property tax. But what is exciting with that, moving a lot of things forward still, as I said earlier, building a new fire station, adding 30 new firefighters. We added about 50 new personnel overall to Osceola County staff. And that's unique, because in the past 12 years, we have not added a whole lot of staffing ever since 2008, 2010. And so now we know we have a need in some departments, and we're being very specific with the addition of those staff, because as we continue to grow, we obviously are going to continue to need to add staff. So we've got a lot of capital projects, a lot of great movement on some of our trails, getting the lakefronts connected with a Neptune connection and some of those things. So a lot of great quality of life issue. And we're even trying to continue. I've got to make sure we're still in there and it makes it across the line, being able to once again provide scholarships to all of our seniors that are going to be graduating this past year. We've seen a great success so far with Osceola Prosper, not only from kids participating, but what that level of interest has been from outside organizations into our community with us doing such a transformational opportunity for all of our students. So very, very excited that we're going to be able to continue that and move forward with some other great opportunities in this upcoming budget.
Great stuff. Yeah, the Osceola Prosper. I know Valencia reached out to us and let us know those students who are taking advantage of that opportunity, which, you know, certainly you guys put together for them as far as paying their tuition. It's the 2022 graduates, right? They are now experiencing their first open houses over at the college. So
wonderful.
It's working. It's a great thing, you know. So I know we could be here another extra hour.
We sure could. I'm sure we can find something to talk about. That's for sure.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you taking time to chat with us today.
Thanks, Keith, for having me on. I always appreciate it. You have a great week and enjoy your weekend as well.
You as well. Be safe and enjoy your family time. And we do appreciate everything you're doing. Again, thanks for spending a few moments with us today.
Thanks so much, Keith. And for those watching, go adopt a pet.
There you go. All right. Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Chairman Brandon Arrington, the chairman of the Osceola County Board of County Commissioners from District 3, together making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Take care, sir.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it.